Hello friends, this is Do It Yourself Diva. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a Chanel inspired perfume bottle. The materials that we're going to need are all from the dollar store. Got this little storage box. We're going to be needing some rhinestones. I have a piece of glitter paper. I made a copy of a Chanel logo on photo paper to give it that sheen, that nice sheen to it. A napkin ring. We're going to use these wooden blocks and glue them together. You're going to need 9 of them. And we're going to glue those together. I did this ahead of time to save time. These are from the Dollar Tree, stick-on pearl rhinestones for decoration. And then I've taken a bunch of pearls. These gold ones and these ivory colored ones are from Joann's, as well as these little pink dots here. Those are from Joann as well. They're pink. And these are from the dollar store. And then pearls from the dollar store. Let's get started. So we're going to open this up. Sure we are. Okay. Okay. I'm going to open this drawer up and put all these pearls inside. Okay, I think that's a little too much pearls, so let's take some of them out because that just... Yeah, that's a good amount. You want about not quite half of the bottle filled. Then we're going to take our glue gun and we're going to go along the sides of this, the top of it, to seal it shut so that the drawer doesn't open and the pearls slip out. I'm going to put it on the inside here. Well, maybe on the inside is not a good idea just yet because then the glue will smudge. There we go. Close it, and now it's nice and sealed. Now we're going to take, I pre-cut this rhinestone mesh, and we are going to glue this to the back of our bottle. I'm using this Beacon foam and board adhesive. It bonds very quickly, sets up very quickly. Within seconds, this will be dry. I'm going to glue this to it first, though. This gets very sticky on your hands, so usually I wear gloves. You might want to think about wearing gloves. And this is just basically so that it makes it stand out a little bit more. Now we're going to glue this to the back of the bottle. We're just going to press that down. Press that down for a few moments. If you find you have any loose edges, you can just give them a quick spritz of the glue gun. Now we're going to take these. I've cut out a little notch in them in the top to accommodate this little handle sticking up. And for this, I'm going to use Beacon's Quick Grip because it's a permanent adhesive and it has a much stronger grip than the foam and board adhesive that I was using. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this straight onto the plastic instead of this because it'll bleed through. So just temporarily put that on to see where you want it to go. And use this sparingly because it comes out rather quickly and a little goes a long way. So I'm going to put a little glue in there just for extra insurance. I love the glue gun, but I don't like the strings. The strings, this reminds me of spider webs. All right, now we're going to do the same to this side. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't completely go to the edge because that's going to be covered up. And like I said, I normally wear rubber gloves with this, or any kind of gloves actually, because it's very, very hard to get off your fingers. And I'm going to seal that underneath with the glue gun. So now it should look like this. You've got the back, the paper's on, the top, the side. Okay. We're going to leave the logo for last, and like I pointed out before, this is on photo paper, so that it has a sheen to it and it looks a lot nicer than just using regular paper. All right, I have this napkin ring from the Dollar Tree. I've pre-cut the rhinestones, and I'm just going to use the glue gun for this. And perfect. It should look like this when you're done. Now that is going to be glued on top of this here. So let's put that aside. Now I've pre-glued 9 of these together to save time to make. This is going to go on top of our napkin ring to make the bottle, the top. And I've pre-cut this paper to wrap around so that this will stand out better, and otherwise you would see the brown through the rhinestones. So we'll put that piece down. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because once the rhinestone goes over it, it's going to hide a lot of it. Now I'm just double checking. Okay. Which side I folded to what? Okay. Okay. I wanted to make sure that I had the measurements right, because had I put it on this way, I'd have a gap. So it goes on this way. Again, we're going to put our glue on. And now I'm going to glue the rest of the mesh on. And it should look like this when you're done. Now we're going to glue this onto the bottom of this. Okay, and again, you don't want to go crazy with this because it comes out so quickly. I'm going to use the beacon, and then I'm going to use the glue gun for a faster setup. And it should look like this. And it's already glued. Now we're going to take this and glue our cap to our bottle. You want to make sure it's centered and give it a quick measure just to make sure. 1.5. Okay. And again, we're going to use some glue and the glue gun for a quick setup. And measure just to make sure that I have it in the right spot. Now we're going to adhere the logo to the bottle, and I'm going back to the foam and poster board adhesive. It is meant for doing this kind of thing. The other stuff I think is a little bit too fluid for that. We only want a little bit. We're going to put that right on the front. And then just gently pat it. You don't want to use a heavy amount because you don't want any of it squeezing out of the side. But we're going to put some embellishment on that, so if it does, it's okay. Okay. Now, I've pre-cut the embellishment for the sides. And what I did is, I cut it so there's an extra amount on both sides hanging off, because this is how the bottom is going to fall into place with that. And again, we're going to use the poster board glue. It is not as messy as the other glue, and we only want a thin amount for this. We're going to glue that right to the outside edge of the picture. So that it is, I guess, leaning on the edge of the picture. And it should look like this when you're done. The next we're going to do, the final step, is glue our pearl rhinestones around the inner edge here on the front. It kind of finishes off the bottle, makes it just adds a little extra sparkle to it. Now these corners can be tricky. What you want to do is, we're going to make a cut right where the rhinestones end, so that we can get it to go to the end. And it doesn't look sloppy. This stuff is very sticky. It has a very good bond to it, which is good. Okay, and we're going to cut that off the same way. You have to kind of like assess when you're down there which way that you're going to want your rhinestones to lay, because if you, and what I mean by that is that if you cut it the wrong way, I always try to leave it with a rounded edge here, so that when you continue, if you can see how I cut off the one pearl rhinestone, so that when you go to start the next row, it blends in perfectly. And then you just follow through with the rest of them. Just make sure that it's even with the previous one that you just put down. I'm making this for my friend, so I have to get it right, or she won't be happy. And I know I wouldn't be happy if it wasn't right. So we're going to do our best to make sure that this is as even as possible. All right, perfect. And again, I took off the top rhinestone so that I can start evenly with this top rhinestone. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut out that top rhinestone so that it blends perfectly with the rhinestone we have there. And there you have it. It's done. Thank you for joining me. If you like, please hit the like button and subscribe. It would help me out a lot. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your day.